What's going on, y'all? So I realized that you guys couldn't really hear me um on the first video I did about this, but this is Derrick Jackson talking to K Michelle about. She said made a statement on the show where she said she don't believe that men are good people. So I just wanted to come through and basically dissect this whole thing and give my commentary on it. So occasionally I'll be pausing it, but I hope you guys can hear me a little bit better. And we're going to start the video here.
One and only Derrick Jaxn, social media, the man who lays it down and says it so honest that most men are like, I can't stand him. But at the end of the day,
Says who?
a lot of guys on your page be like, dude, come on.
Most though. That's subjective.
Yeah? Why do you think so many guys don't like you?
I think a lot of guys have problems with the things I'm revealing that they need to fix in themselves. So they pissed off at me like I'm the problem. When the real problem is the work that they got to do and the fact that they don't want to do it.
Oh. So
just like I said on the first video or whatnot, just like I said, basically what he is saying is that's not the real problem. The real problem is the fact that when you're talking and you're making your videos, you're so subjective rather than objective. You really say, like, you really push this agenda that everything that's wrong with relationships are black men's fault. So it's the man's fault. So that's the problem that people really have with Derrick Jaxn. Continue.
this is what K Michelle said on our show when she was here last week. This is one of the clips. And we're going to allow you to call in Atlanta 404-741-WVEE.
Everything that I've gone through has been because of lack of self-esteem and men being in the middle.
What do you mean? Like, explain that. Like,
I don't think men are good people.
Wait, you think that now? All men.
I don't think they're good people.
Why not?
The reason for that, and I truly believe that, the reason for that is, like, for men to do things that they consider small in the flesh of, like, cheating, you know that that's going to destroy your partner, but you do it anyway. That's not a mistake. We've watched the same story over and over again.
Yeah.
And just because I'm a woman, I'm supposed to accept your betrayal.
Right.
Because you're taking...
A couple of points. When you're sitting back and you're speaking on the subject in this case, you know what I'm saying, and from this point of view, it is directly from the point of view of a woman who has been cheated on. Now, never would it cross your mind that in some kind of way, not physically but mentally in his mental space, that you're coming up short, that you're not providing happiness to this person. So he goes out and seeks it out from somebody else. That never crosses a woman's mind, and that's never discussed. Continue.
Advantage of my love for you, and I'm supposed to just be the one behind you riding or dying. I'm not dying with nobody. And to see girls come up to me, I'm the girl they come up to all day long crying. They tell me the most disgusting of stories that I couldn't even believe. And a lot of times men, the wrong man, will stunt your growth as a woman.
So when you make music talking of these subjects, talking about a man destroying a woman, what else will a woman approach you with? They're going to approach you with some relatable stuff to the material that you put out. So what else would they approach you with? How are you shocked that they approach you with some stuff that relates to the music that you put out? How can you be shocked in that sense? You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. First of all, it's one side of a story. Second of all, people have the ability to embellish. People have the ability to just make up stuff. People are like, there's more authors in the world than ever before. People have the ability to put together a whole story just for attention. So, of course, once you hear one side of the story, you don't hear the total, you just jump on that side because this is a woman who's coming to you, and you know, you're a woman. Continue.
Women could be doctors, lawyers, and everything, but they're in the bed crying over what a man did to them.
I don't believe that, man. I think that's a generalized
Okay,
statement.
what you think?
You think all of them bad except you?
Not even that. I think just based on what you said, I think your experiences are valid, and I think the things that she was talking about are extremely valid, but in the way that you've internalized it, it's toxic.
Very.
It's like, yeah, there are kids in Chicago that are committing crimes, but hypothetically, let's say you have a son or a daughter. That doesn't mean that your son or daughter is a bad person because kids over there are doing wrong, even though those things are actually happening. So I think that's a generalized statement to say all men are bad. I think all men can be better the same way that women can. We can speak to the things that we're doing wrong in terms of holding us accountable. But whenever you say all men are bad, you're almost giving them a pass to continue being bad. And that I'm not for.
So I want y'all to understand something. Like, the problem that we have with Derrick on his videos is he doesn't speak in this context on his videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the problem that we have with Derrick. I'm going to say something that I never really say about Derrick. That is an excellent point. And he's going to have several of them throughout the video, but that was an excellent point.
I can't give them the pass to do nothing. They've been clowns for years. So there's not a pass I can give. Men like to take that and make women be the blame for why they're acting like that or this and that. Yes, I have been in some relationships and they haven't been good for me. You know, but
so I just wanted to put my own 2 cents in on what she's saying right now. Maybe about 6 months ago, I came across a video, and I think it was on thisis50.com or something like that. And kmichelle was on there, and she was being interviewed by a girl, and she was talking about being in a relationship with women from time to time. So here's the thing: men are bad, yet the one consistent thing is you, because you've been in relationships with women, and those didn't work out either. So how do you go all the way around that and say men are bad? Continue.
But it's not just me that I'm basing this off of. It's women in every city. I've been on the road every week for 5 years. 5 years. And these women are walking up to me, I mean, like crying. Not even like, oh, he did this, like broke down, souls broke down.
Right.
So as soon as they come towards me, I know the first thing they're going to say, something they man did to them. No, it's
again, what are they going to say? Like 90% of your music, 90% of the material that you put out is saying those same things. So what else are they going to say to you? Some women just have a hunch that those things are going on, and they come telling you, they run telling you, but that's not necessarily the case. Again, it's one side of the story, and that's just the way that it is. Continue.
It's never anything good. I rarely hear anything good that a man has done to help a woman become a better woman. I go on the real. I go on what's brought.
Again, you're going on what was said, and here's the thing: nowadays, people don't talk about positives. They don't talk about what a person adds to their lives. They got to be adding something to their lives because you're still there. So you don't talk about those things. You don't shine a light on those things. And if you never say that to your partner, guess what you're not doing? You're not even acknowledging to him that you appreciate what it is that he's bringing to the table. So you tell me, with all of that I just said, you tell me what it is that, what's keeping him there.
You all can be like, oh, there is a good man. Yeah, probably 1%. You want to talk about the 1%?
That's different.
You want to talk about a 1%?
But if you're going to tell the truth,
and he might be gay. He might just be being good to his gay partner.
You got to tell both sides.
So that's the trump card that women like to pull out when, they can't find happiness because they feel like no matter what I do, I'm supposed to be happy or whatever. No matter what I'm bringing, what kind of energy I'm bringing. And as you can see, she comes in with negative energy in all her relationships. Hence what she's going to say and what she has said. But that's the thing. If you listen to what she's saying right now, and then the trump card is, well, if he's not making, if that 1% got to be gay. So continue.
it. And with that mentality, you're only going to bring in that 99% that you think exists that represents the worst of us. Because let's say a good man does come along. Is that mentality going to attract him and make him want to stay around?
Well, who cares what attracts him? That's not what it's about for me in my life. I pay my own bills right now.
But you're going to continue.
So the only thing that you need a man for, you're giving yourself all the answers to your real issue. The only thing that you need a man for, and the only thing that you would respect a man for, is being able to, for him to pay your bills. And you don't respect him as the person, or the person who's bringing you peace of mind and taking care of things that normally you would have to take care of. But he's adding that to your life. That he may be good with your children. He is good with your business. He's good with whatever the case may be. And if he's not cheating, or if he's not messing around, or whatever the case may be. Hence, you've been on the road for 5 years and you're in a relationship right now as we speak. Are you sure that you are actually putting in the energy that man needs? Or is it all about what you need? Continue.
When you pay your own bills, you're gonna think about love differently. So if a man is not willing to show and prove who he is, he's not for me. I'll put up this wall, and if you're not going to climb it, then you need to.
And if you're measuring a man's love by what he pays, and then you get to a point that you paying everything and you good, then maybe you shouldn't be in a relationship. Because if the only measuring stick that you have to compare a man to how much he loves you is what he pays for you, and once you can do things for yourself, then there's no need for you to be in a relationship. Because what are you in a relationship for? You're in a relationship knowing that you're never going to love someone. Continue.
Stay on the other side of it. I'm going to speak and say how I feel. This submission stuff with Fantasia, I'm not submitting to nothing but my bag and my kids and my career. I will submit. There is no submission without a mission. There has to be a mission. These men don't have missions.
You have absolutely no obligation to submit or do anything, but you would be wise to be consistent in what it is that you want. Do you really want a healthy relationship with a man that is good?
Okay.
If that's the case, then you have to create a welcoming space for
if
that.
And
what you're
possible.
Talking about is not welcome.
I've been in a relationship for now 3 years. I knew him for 20. Right?
I feel for this
and
brother
he
on this
was
other side of this microphone.
Why not feel for me? Why are you feeling?
Because he waited 17 years for you. You understand that? Because he waited 17 years for you, and watch you go through toxic relationship after toxic relationship after toxic relationship, and you came to him as your friend and talked to him about it. He watched it on TV. He watched you go through issue after issue with whoever you were with, and it took him 20 years to get the payoff. So why should I feel sorry for you? Why should I feel bad for you? I should feel bad for that man, because obviously, like I said, there is a common denominator. Continue.
For him. Like, I was with somebody, I've been friends with somebody for over 20 years. We get in a relationship, and as soon as things get bad for me, health-wise, and I'm not as strong, I wasn't brought up like I should have been brought up. I was made to feel even more insecure in the situation. Me as a woman, I have decided that there's years and time within this. There are babies about to be born and everything, so we are working on this relationship. But before we were a couple, I still spoke on these situations. I tell my relationships to the women that come and cry. I let them know mine ain't perfect. I'm not no relationship goals for y'all. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth at all times.
But I think what he's trying to say is, if you want a relationship, does that attitude create the space in order to accept the good man when he comes along?
It might scare him, but he needs to be scared.
So you want to...
Now, why do a man that you're supposed to be in a relationship and trying to build something with need to be scared? He should be scared of losing you? What is it that he should be scared of? Why do you wish pain on him, but you expect him to, or some type of negative emotion on him, but you expect him to keep you happy and keep you feeling like you're loved? How can someone keep providing? If you go to a restaurant and you give them money for food and they never give you food, don't you want your money back? Don't you feel like you've been cheated out of something? Continue.
Man, to be scared. Like,
Not scared. He needs to know what he's getting into. Like we always say, don't pull it out unless you're gonna use it.
I think at the end of the day, women do have a lot of power in those decisions.
Okay.
I think ultimately it's terrible to hear you talk about how these feelings are toxic and you don't think nothing could be done about it. But every day we know what the facts are. We know that men have issues, women have issues, but I think a lot of women have the power, what they deal with and what they tolerate, and I think that can help men be better at the same time.
That's real.
Here's the thing that's,
they say if you were to pull out the statement and the cliche that behind every great man is a great woman, you know how women are so willing to accept that and willing to receive that as a triumph for a woman. But think about what you're saying. Every great man has a woman making him great. Yet all men are bad people. So where are the women? Where is the responsibility of the woman? Even when he said that, guess what she said? Facts. So he agreed with the fact that she has the power and the ability to influence, but yet none of the men that have come in her life have been better. So what exactly have you added to their life? What are you adding to their life? What are you bringing to their life? Continue.
I guess, confusing for me, and I'll say it to both you and Derek. I believe truly that women have power to motivate men to do whatever they want. Women are the best. Listen to what I'm saying. Women can move a man. First, if you look back through history, women have caused more wars in this earth than anybody. Women control the cards, and the women that play it the best are the gold diggers and whatever. They know how to manipulate men. Women know how to manipulate men.
That ain't it, Frank.
Listen. But listen to what I'm saying.
That's a fact.
Wait. I'm not saying that as a conclusion. I'm saying what's confusing for me is women are magical manipulators. They can manipulate situations in men because they get into the emotion of things that men be like tripping about.
Don't even think about.
So what I'm saying is, if women have the power to manipulate, why don't they have the power to change the situation that men do?
Now, what he's trying to say is nobody affects a man. Nothing or nobody affects a man like a woman. So if you're not focusing your energy on truly making that man better, he's not going to be better. Like, it's not hard math. It's not, if you're not focusing your energy, like, if you're not doing anything to add to that man, why would he consistently add to your life? Continue.
Well, now we're putting the responsibility of who we are on women, and we've done a lot of that. And what I believe is, a woman can't change a man. A woman can't inspire the qualities in a man that he should have had before he even came across her. But what she can do is protect herself. What she can do is make sure she doesn't tolerate it past the point that she realizes he's doing what he's doing.
I don't believe that.
Women can inspire and influence things.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I don't believe it.
Okay.
Let me tell you why I don't believe it. Because every man that's been out there and has said to himself, oh my God, I love her, I want to marry her. Something happened to that man's psyche at that point when he said, I want to marry you. He could have been out here on the street. He could have been doing whatever he wants to do. And then he comes across that one woman that changes everything about his outlook. Okay? And then he changes and he gets with that one woman. Now, from that point until it gets to another point where something happens to his psyche where he decides to cheat, that's the area I'm talking about right there. There was a time when the woman had him and he wasn't cheating.
That's the decline. So watch how she spin it and try to make it negative. That's the decline that happens the more and more that you feel like you have them. That's the decline that women feel like the more and more I get from this person, or the more and more I get him committed, I have him, so I don't have to continue doing the same things I did to get him. And I don't have to go above and beyond what I did to get him. I got him. And the more and more from having kids to getting married, to getting engaged, to getting married, now I got him. So I can do less and less of what I did to get him. Continue.
Just because they get a ring don't mean they wasn't cheating. Men get married and cheat the night before. So you can't put women in control just because you say we're manipulators. We can't. You know how many women would have been manipulated men?
Understand what she's trying to say as opposed to what he's trying to say. What he's trying to say is, what he's saying is what I just told you that he said, and what she's saying is, no matter what I give, he should not cheat. No matter who I am, the changes once I decide, because I am that prize. And it don't work that way. It's a two-way street. You're supposed to have two people in a relationship making each other happy. And that's what black women nowadays don't get, especially the woman with the bag. Continue.
To not cheat on them?
What I'm saying is,
possible?
okay, listen to what I'm saying. If I'm a single guy and I'm out here single and I'm playing the field and I'm getting everything I want, why would I marry you? Something happened.
Facts.
You did something. You did something to me to make me.
I did something to you.
As a woman, you did something
I did something to you as a.
Listen to how defensive she gets, y'all. I'm gonna rewind it. Listen to how defensive she gets when he said, what he's saying is, you did something to make me want to marry you. What it is that you did to make me want to marry you. When he says you did something, she's not even paying attention because she's so built on talking over him and talking to pretty boy Derrick that she's not even paying attention fully to what he is saying. So if she was paying attention, he meant you did something to make me want to marry you. Are you continuing to do those things and still getting cheated on? Or is there a decline? Continue.
A man, and you're supposed to be the head of a household. You're supposed to be the head of everything. Oh, so you can't put women in control just because you say we're manipulators. We can't. You know how many women would have been manipulated men to not cheat on them?
What I'm saying is
possible.
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. If I'm a single guy and I'm out here single and I'm playing the field and I'm getting everything I want, why would I marry you? Something happened.
Facts.
You did something. You did something to me to make me.
I did something to you
as a woman. You did something.
I did something to you as a man, and you're supposed to be the head of a household. You're supposed to be the head of everything. You're supposed to be the head of a relationship. How can I do anything for you to make you not stand on your 2 feet to have my back?
So let me point out the contradictory point that she made. Didn't she just say she wasn't submitting to anything except for her bag and her children and all of that stuff? So now how is the man the head of the household? How is he the head of the relationship? How is he the thing that keeps things moving when you just said plain out that you're not submitting to nobody but your bag, your children, and your business? Continue.
I'm talking about there was something magical that happened to make that man say,
so
damn.
Focus.
Well, give me the magic dust to put on his sausage to make him not go poking.
That decline. Be who you were when you met him. It's the decline. Now, I understand the business that you're in, and I understand what you do. You know what I'm saying? But your presence, it's not necessarily, y'all, we want to fucking try to build relationships by text message and sustain relationships by text message. That's not enough. You actually have to talk to a person. You have to hear a person. You have to have emotions. All our relationships nowadays are emotionless because we're sitting back and we conducting our relationship and the business within our relationship by text message. Continue.
Let me go to the phones real quick. Big E in Atlanta, what you think?
Man, I think Michelle and the other caller is out of their mind. I'm a married man. I had to wake up and listen to these battered women. Battered women try to justify. These battered women try to justify their bad choices. Sometimes y'all just make bad choices and then y'all try to blame it on all men. I'm a married man, happily married. I've been in the game, watching the game forever. It's like watching.
To my diehards, the ones who've been watching my videos or whatnot. Remember when I talked about when a woman doesn't like what she hears, she lashes out and she attacks that person. even though he's making a valid point. Just because he doesn't agree. Watch this. Watch when he says what he says. Watch her reaction. Continue.
Okay, Michelle, we see you make bad mistakes. We like, why you do that? Then you come on the show and be like, oh man, we like, yo, you just making bad decisions. Just call.
And mind you, she doesn't have any idea what his life is, but she attacks him because she thinks he's saying this because he's married. He's just telling you his background. So she attacks the fact that he's married. But your shit is on display. You put it on TV. You put your life on TV and your relationships on TV. So you're fair game. Continue.
What it is, it's a lot of men out here doing the right thing, but women don't want to say, hey, they're doing what they want to do instead of what they need to do at that time.
You don't need no cookie because you married. You don't get a cookie.
They never look at the dude that's the good dude because that's not what they want at the time. But when the good dudes stand on the side like, why don't you want me? Then they get bad and get abused by these dudes out here in the street. Then they come back to the other dude and be like, yo, I've been abused. Just like Kay said, I've been knowing this dude for 20 years. It just took you 20 years to get back to that dude. If you went out there and played around and did what you wanted to do, he been there the whole time.
That's right. That's real. But guess what? He still had a problem. Hey, Big E, what you want? A Happy Meal?
No,
that's what you want. Let me get you to understand that one, sir, you don't know me. You need to hold on, Big E. In the first place, your tone shows me that you're not a good man. The way you're talking about these battered women, you need to hold your tone, pull your face down. Big E, you think you something because you got married. You don't.
So if I may interject, y'all, what about what he's saying is untrue? Did you not make the decision to be with that man? Did you not choose to be with that man? And a lot of times when you end up in these situations as a woman, and I'm not victim blaming or victim shaming or anything like that, but a lot of times when you end up in these situations, you dated someone that either you didn't get to know, or even if you got to know them, they never showed you that they would do anything different than what they ended up doing to you. And you ignored it thinking that you could change that person. That will show itself a little bit later on in the video. Check. Continue.
Get a cookie for that. You don't get a cookie for marriage, okay? You talking about it's on TV. This how I get my money. So you don't talk about. I tell you what you need to see. So you don't know what's going on. And what I'm telling you is, men like you, you're not the 1%. From how you talk, you're not the good 1%.
Hold on 1 second. All right, Derrick, go ahead. What you think?
Man, look. I get what she's saying, and I get what he's saying to an extent, a much smaller extent. But in the same way, he's generalizing, everybody up here is being battered because they have very valid experiences. I think in the same way, kmichelle can't generalize men because she's had some bad experiences that all guys are trash and all of that. Once again, you only going to attract that thing that you're so focused on if that's the only thing that you're materializing and validating out here. So I have a question for kmichelle. Like, what exactly is a 1%? What does that look like? What is that great guy?
Like Jesus and Obama.
Okay, so with that being said,
so that's your standards. And listen, and if you go back and look at this video, and if you go back and look at this video, you think that you are a woman that is worthy of Jesus or Obama. The one thing that you can't materialize, and the one thing that you can't look past is the fact that Miss Michelle knew how to play her position. She wasn't the president. She didn't act like it. She acted like the president's wife. And correct me if I'm wrong, Michelle got more money than Obama. Yet she submitted to him. Continue.
Both of those men are spoken for. Okay. So you have every right to believe that there's no other good man except for Jesus and Obama. Okay, cool. But
I see it's better than last time I gave you 2.
But you would be unwise to even pursue a relationship thinking it can be anything other than toxic. You
real.
Because you're saying I only got space for the absolute worst.
They creep me out. They creep me out. Like, they creep me out. The one person that I thought was in that 1%, the one person that I thought was going to have my back, it didn't go down like that.
Holding on to that and defining everything by that one experience.
No, I was real messed up in the head way before. Him, he ain't gonna take all that responsibility.
That's real. You were
AT aliens did that,
So here's the thing. Do you even want to be in a healthy relationship at all? Do you
I don't believe they're possible.
Okay,
So how in the fuck could you ever have a relationship that works? How could you ever, you say that you chasing happiness, you say that you're looking for happiness. If you don't even believe in it, and if you don't believe in, what is it that you're chasing? If you don't believe that it's possible, what is it that you're chasing? Continue.
You're just going to be single the rest of your life and you're good. And
No,
I'm
not single. I'm just floating.
Are you happy just floating? Like truly happy, not for any kind of...
You're in a whole relationship and you say, I'm not single. You're not even acknowledging that you're in a relationship. You said, I'm just floating. That means I'm halfway in, I'm halfway out. I got my foot in, I got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Continue.
I'm happy with certain aspects. I'm not overall completely happy. When I find that ultimate peace, that's what I really try to strive for.
If you're committed to that, that's the only thing that you're ever going to get. And so long as you're at peace with that, I'm good. I can't tell you what to think. But in order to have something else, you got to be open to something else. I just think all of them are bad.
I'd rather stay in.
You can convince yourself that sometimes even when you're looking at the good and the best things, you can actually convince yourself that you're seeing bad. Continue.
In the best worst situation because they all messed up.
That's your guard being put up, and you think it's keeping you safe, but really it's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you stuck.
What's it keeping me stuck from?
It's keeping you stuck away from anything that could possibly be different.
So I'm blocking out another offender.
It's like.
So that's what I said on the first video. I felt like he had a couple of epiphanies on here. He's saying that you blocking yourself from possible good people that you could have in your life, all right? She says, I'm blocking myself from another offender. It's just a total disdain for men. So here's the thing. Why are you still chasing a relationship with a man? You wasting your time. It's a waste of time because you already looking at a motherfucker who don't even exist yet as an offender. So you're going to come in with not just a shell, but you're going to damage him. Continue.
If you were to fail on your dreams, if you were to fail at your career over and over again and say, you know what, if nobody's ever going to love me in my voice, nobody's ever going to appreciate me, guess what? You don't step into that next record exec's office. You don't put that next song out. You don't even try. You don't give it a chance. Therefore, you are you're sealing your fate as never being successful.
But when I speak, it's not just on me. I'm speaking on the women that come to me.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
But when you speak on the women that come to you, you speaking on what they were it's not the knowledge that you're getting. You know, it's just like when I talk about listening to your friends and all of that stuff. You're not speaking on the knowledge of what actually happened. Only God and those two people know what actually happened, how it got to that point, all the things that led up to that point. Only God and those two people know. They're not going to come and tell you both sides. They're going to come and tell you the favorable side. You're not going to go in court and say some shit that will incriminate you, knowing that it's going to incriminate you. Are you? You're not going to come in and sacrifice yourself for the truth when you know you can say this that goes directly against this person's story and get off. Common sense. Continue.
See.
What about your daddy?
My daddy, he is my daddy. My daddy is strong. My daddy is brilliant.
Is he in the 1%?
No, Jesus and Obama's in the 1%.
That's my 1%, but
that's the thing. If you listen to what she's about to say, you're judging people like she even wanted to judge her daddy based off of other experiences with other people, even though the only thing he's ever shown her was love. So that just goes back to what I just said. This is your experience with this man who is your father. And to me, it seems like you got it twisted because all you had to do was be his daughter for him to be good to you. But that's a different type of love. You have to be adding to someone's life in order to feel like they're really losing something. Continue.
I've had men around, and I've had men around.
No, but I'm saying, is your daddy in the 1%?
Well, I want to say he is because he's my daddy.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real. I'll be real to say because he's my daddy.
You know, from the time
because that's a man that showed me love.
But I was getting ready to say something to you. what I'm seeing is, in the days we've been spending together, you are
So remember when I just said that he was going to, like, it was going to come back in later in the video. This is the part where I've been saying on several of my videos, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to pick two things that match in order to even have a shot. You can't go out and expect the dope boy to be living the settled married life. You have to pick two things that match. Continue.
perfectionist.
Very much.
You have done things beyond the imagination to be perfect in every aspect of your life. Your daddy gave you a bunch of history and a bunch of knowledge. You're a very smart person, went to school to get a psychology degree, the whole night. You are a perfectionist and you have this high level. And what happens is you now have that in the midst of another side of you that wants the hood dude.
No. My dude is not hood.
Not your dude.
And if you listen to what, no, my dude is not hood, that means you're settling. If you listen to how she's saying it, like, you feel like you're settling, but you possibly upgraded. You know what I'm saying? Like, every dude is not the same. Continue.
Now, but when you came in, you
when
said,
I came in, I wanted that.
That's what I'm saying.
So dreads.
But listen,
I wanted
follow
hood
what I'm
street.
saying. You got this perfectionist, and your dad is the epitome of what a black man should be. He ran a damn Black History Museum, right? But then on the side, you want the hood dude. You go out in the street, mess with the hood dude. They totally trash you and break your heart.
Yeah.
Now you're comparing what you want with this high level of expectation
There's no middle.
to your experience being with these hood dudes. And what Derrick is saying,
No, I
you
dated
have
all
to
type
open-
of these men.
If you listen to what he's saying, it's pretty much what I just said, but I'm going to break it all the way down. You're dating men who aren't equipped to give you what you want. And you've gotten used to that. But those men were never equipped. The lifestyle that they live leaves them not equipped to give you what you expect and what you want. You can't even give that up in order for you to have the perfect situation. But you're still looking for perfection, knowing that perfection doesn't exist. You still expect perfection, knowing that perfection doesn't exist. And you also expect perfection when you're not trying to be just as perfect as what you expect. Continue.
No, but you can't, because you're not attracting all type of these men. Because your aura is only going to attract a man that thinks he can deal with you. And that's what Derrick is saying.
Okay.
Your aura is only going to attract a certain... See, women got to understand, you're only going to attract what you put out. So if you want something different, you have to learn within to put out something
Now,
different.
Frank, I don't believe that. I think good, bad, or ugly.
I understand what he's saying, but I think he misspoke a little bit. It's you're only going to accept what you're willing to receive. And if you're not willing to receive a different type of dude that's bringing a different type of energy, and you always expect for that dude, for the next dude to treat you and put you in the same space as the last dude, you're going to continue getting the same. You can't go and play in mud and expect not to get dirty. If the only thing that your heart is open to is that same type of dude, you're gonna keep getting hurt. Continue.
You're going to attract the good, bad, and ugly.
Look at all the women
Michelle
back here
Obama's
behind
gonna
y'all.
attract everything. It's about what you entertain, what you accept.
Okay.
She just talked about her a little bit earlier, like her dude ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing, but she's still with him. She's entertaining it. She's allowing him to continue to be in her space. You haven't risen the value on your space to make somebody have to earn it by doing more than what the guy who's currently in your life is doing.
All right, y'all. So, in conclusion, I just wanted to take the time to say the only reason that I did this video is because I wanted y'all to understand and see what we actually deal with in the end. Like, this isn't the small percentile now. This is how the majority of black women actually think now. This is what we deal with on a regular basis. Not because of anything else other than the fact that This is the mindset and the persona that was implanted into their mind through music, through media, through all of these different things. The mindset is, I don't have to do anything in order for me to expect you to be the perfect man, to act perfectly, to do things perfectly. I don't have to bring anything to expect you to make me happy. I don't have to continue to make you happy. I just have to be whoever I want to be in that moment. That's all I got, y'all. Y'all have a good day. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Show off.